Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Skull and Bones and we're going to be going over the Sloop, so the blaster ship. This one is one of the earlier ones yet still, but probably kind of where you start straddling the edge between the really beginner ships and the more intermediate type stuff. So this is going to be a total guide for it. I'm going to show you where to get the schematic, show you the cost of that, show you the materials, show you where to get the materials, and then we'll go over the stats of the ship, how it compares, what its strengths and weaknesses are, and how to build it to make it as good a ship as possible. So let's just dive on in and get to all that. We'll start it off with the schematic. So if you want to find this, and let's assume you're starting over at St. Anne, it's going to be over in the coast of Africa. We're going to be looking for this lake section in the back, and we're going to zoom in right onto this spot here, the sunken gold mine. So if you haven't discovered it yet, it's right here. So if we look at St. Anne, and let's just say you head through this channel and straight across the ocean here, you're going to kind of come up through this channel and right to the sunken gold mine. So let's go there. Once you are on the beach at the sunken gold mine, it's quite simple. All you have to do is go to the Ungwana merchant. We're going to be buying from her, and it'll be one of the 4 schematics you can buy here. It will cost 4,950 silver, and there you have it right there. So pretty straightforward process, no extremely harsh steps required to get this schematic. As far as materials for crafting this one, you're going to need 8 cobalt ingots, 8 fine hemp, 4 casting sand, and 4 lime. So all of these are things that you can get right around in this region. Starting off with the cobalt ingots, there is a refinery, the Wawuvi foundry right here, that has cobalt ingots, so you can loot that, as well as any other ships along the trade route there are likely to drop cobalt ingots. Otherwise, you will find cobalt ore nodes along this coast here. So sailing along here, you will be able to mine plenty of cobalt, which you can take and refine into the ingots. So that's how you get your cobalt. Pretty simple and straightforward, I would say. Next thing you need is the fine hemp. You can raid the Harufu Weaver and get yourself enough fine hemp to do the whole thing. Or again, if you just kind of zoom in along here, you'll notice that hemp can be harvested all over this area along the coast. So there is quite a bit of it. It's the little marijuana symbol. So that's how you get hemp. As for casting sand, this is a specific type of loot that you will get in this area. You can't harvest it anywhere, but you can pretty reliably loot it from a number of places. So one of which is the Harufu settlement and also the trade routes around it. Just check the ships around there. A lot of them will be carrying casting sand. It's one of the things that you find quite frequently on ships from the Confederation of Ungwana. So pretty easy to get. I would say it's definitely a more common ingredient. But like I said, if you want to go specifically to a location, the Harufu settlement has some, as does the Bandari settlement, and of course Jiwei, the capital. You can go basically just in a straight line down from Jiwei, Harufu, and Bandari, and you'll be able to have just tons of it by the end of that looting. And like I said, lots of ships will be carrying it. So that's how you get casting sand. As far as the last ingredient, that being lime goes, basically you're just going to want to go to this area right here, this sort of circle in Harufu here with all these small islands. So starting from the Navigator's Cross all the way down to Poacher's Cache, like that window in right there, you're going to loot it from ships, and it is also a possible loot from these settlements, so you might get it from Harufu and Bandari as well. It's not guaranteed. You're more likely to find this just by going along scanning ships and hunting them down, but I find that this location here is a particularly good one to get yourself on a lot of lime, to get your hands on a lot of lime, I should say. So like I said, that can be done in this region right here, mostly just by hunting ships. And that is all you need for the ship. Those are all the materials you need. So like I said, in total, that's 8 cobalt ingots, 8 fine hemp, 4 casting sand, and 4 lime. Once you've got all those, you're going to go back to St. Anne, and we're going to craft the ship. Once you're in St. Anne, obviously, if you've watched any of these ship guides before or played the game long enough to get to the point where you're crafting the sloop, you probably know, but you go over to the ship builders right here to the left, and you'll be able to build the ship now that you have the materials. So you can find it right here. It is the 5th ship on the top row. Like I said, you can see our materials needed over there. It also will cost you 2,700 silver to build it. You can see information-wise, we got a lot going on here. It says it is a sloop, obviously. It's called the Blaster. It's a small ship, so this is still classified as one of the small ones. It says, with the right weapons equipped, this ship is able to stand toe-to-toe with multiple enemies. It is a DPS type, so specialized in dealing damage and status effects. The DPS favors an aggressive playstyle. The perk this ship has is Outbursts, which says explosive hits have a 50% chance of triggering an explosion, which deals 1,500 damage with a blast radius of 150 meters. Increased damage to structures by 40% and explosive damage by 15%. So since it has the Outburst perk, this is one where you want to focus on weapons that have the explosive perk, so you can get that outburst effect. You can see for our stats here, our base ship rank is 3, our hull health is 25,000, brace strength is 5,000, speed is knots, trimming speed is 12 knots, cargo is 40,000, and stamina is 100. You can only have front and side-facing weapons on this one, so no rear-facing weapons, and you can only have 3 furniture slots on the sloop. So overall, like I said, it's a small ship, but it's arguably the best of the small ship class. At least I believe so, because I think the next ship that we're going to look at is the first of the medium class. So the sloop has its benefits. It's relatively fast with a trimming speed of 12 knots. The base speed, which will be your against the wind speed or whatever, is 9 knots, so that's still faster than quite a few ships, including some of the large ships. So it is a quick enough ship, and if you focus on your explosive damage, it's actually pretty powerful. As far as armor for this one, again, like usual, we're going to want to focus on whatever the best armor we can get is. If you can get your hands on the Black Prince armor, that's obviously going to be a great option because that gives you your 1200 armor. Otherwise, the Gamba Kobe 2 armor, which can be purchased from the black market, that's 1250, so those are your 2 best armors overall. Otherwise, really, any of these are going to be excellent. If you can get the Bastion 3 on there, that's 1000 armor. So, and the Iron Husk 5 is also going to be 1000. The Ouroboros, if you like hunting animals for their teeth, and you've done that a lot, this one has 1100. So there's a lot of great options, but basically whatever the best armor you can is going to be the way to go on here. For our side cannons, we're going to focus on the Culverin, and since we want to focus on explosive damage, we're going to go with Basilisk cannons, and so these ones have piercing, and they also deal that initial powerful damage, which is what we're looking for with this ship. So if you can, I would recommend obviously the Basilisk 3, otherwise the Basilisk 2. Outside of that, just your standard Culverins. There's nothing I have against the Terran Culverins, it's just they don't really fit the playstyle we're going for on this one. For our front weapon, I think the best way to go is a Bombard. If you can, you should equip the Dardaniel's gun, which is what I have on the front of it. It's obviously a very powerful one. It's got the Explosive 3 perk to it, so it's one of the more powerful explosive weapons in the game, and it just makes it a very devastating frontal weapon for this ship. I find it to be the weapon I primarily use when I'm using the sloop in this configuration. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the sloop, so that's where I'm gonna end the video. If you'd like to stick around, I'll probably clip on some combat footage of this ship with this build going on so you can kind of see how it works. But that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.